Hello and welcome to the Entrant. The topic for today's discussion is one of the most relevant topics under the Indian family laws. The essentials of a valid marriage under Muslim law holds great importance when it comes to questions asked in competitive exams. Let us start off by understanding a little about marriages under Islamic law. Nikah is an Arabic word or term used for marriage, which means the union of the sexes and carries a civil contract for the purpose of legalizing sexual intercourse and legitimate procreation of children. The Quran specifically refers to marriage as mithaqun galitun, which means a strong agreement. Marriage under Islamic law is a matrimonial relationship and an institution which legalizes the sexual activities between a male and female for the object of procreation of children, for the promotion of love, mutual support, and the creation of families which are considered to be an essential unit in a society. It is considered to be a religious duty and a social contract rather than a sacrament. The essentials of a valid Muslim marriage or Sahih are as follows: offer and acceptance, the capacity of the parties, free consent, offer and acceptance at one sitting, clear and unambiguous terms, presence of witnesses, and dower. In a Muslim marriage, the proposal is referred to as ijab and the acceptance of the same as qubul. A proposal should be made by or on behalf of one party and the same should be accepted by the other party. The proposal and acceptance must both be expressed at one meeting. If a proposal is made at one meeting and the acceptance of the proposal is done in the second meeting, it is not considered as valid. The capacity of the parties. The parties to the contract must be majors. For the purpose of Muslim marriage, the age when a person reaches puberty is considered as the age of majority. A Muslim is considered to have attained the age of puberty at 15 years. After attaining the age of 15, the parties can give their own consent and there is no need of consent of guardians. If a person is a minor, that is, has not attained the age of puberty, the consent of the guardian is required to make the marriage lawful. The persons recognized as guardians under the Muslim law are the father, the paternal grandfather, brother or any other male member of the father's family, the mother, and members of the maternal relation. The right passes from one guardian to the other, in absence of the previous one, in order of priority. In absence of any of these guardians, the marriage may be contracted by a qazi or any other government authority. The second criteria determining the capacity of the parties is the soundness of mind. At the time of marriage, both the parties should be of sound mind. A person of unsound mind has no capacity to enter into a contract, and in the eyes of law, his consent will be considered as no consent. And the final criteria being the person must be a Muslim. The parties to enter into the marriage must be a Muslim, irrespective of their sect or subsect. A marriage is considered to be as intersect marriage if both the parties are Muslim belonging to different sects, but the marriage is valid. For a valid marriage, free consent of the parties is a must. If the consent is obtained by means of coercion, fraud, or mistake of fact, it is considered as invalid and the marriage is considered as void. In the case of Moinuddin versus Khatija Bibi, the court held that a marriage is invalid if it is held without free consent of the parties. Free from legal disability. Under Muslim law, marriage is not permitted under certain circumstances. The restrictions and prohibitions can be broadly classified into absolute prohibitions and relative prohibitions. Absolute prohibition. A Muslim marriage cannot take place if the parties are within blood relationship or prohibited degree of relationship of each other, and the marriage turns to be void. Relative prohibition, on the other hand, under Muslim law, certain prohibitions are relative and are not absolute. If the marriage takes place in violation of such a prohibition, it is considered to be irregular and cannot be declared as void. The marriage becomes valid as soon as the irregularities are removed. The first absolute prohibition is consanguinity. It refers to blood relationship in which a man is barred from marrying the following females. A marriage with a woman prohibited under consanguinity is considered to be void, and the children born out of that wedlock are considered illegitimate. He is barred from marrying his mother or grandmother, how high soever, his daughter or granddaughter, how low soever, his sister, irrespective of full blood, half blood, or uterine blood, his niece or great niece, how low soever, and his aunt or great aunt, whether paternal or maternal, how high soever. The second absolute prohibition is affinity. A marriage with certain close relatives is also prohibited in Muslims due to closeness of relationship. A marriage with a woman prohibited under affinity is considered to be void. A man is barred from marrying his wife's mother or grandmother, his wife's daughter or granddaughter, his father's wife or paternal grandfather's wife, and his son's wife or son's son's wife or daughter's son's wife. The third and absolute prohibition is fosterage. It refers to milk relationship. It is a condition when a lady, other than the mother of the wife, breastfed or suckled the child under the age of 2 years. The lady turns to be the foster mother of the child. A man is restricted from marrying the persons who come under foster relationship. His foster mother or foster grandmother, how high soever, and daughter of foster mother or foster sister are some of the relationships banned under fosterage. The first relative prohibition is unlawful conjunction. A Muslim man is prohibited to marry two different women if they are related to each other by means of consanguinity, affinity, or fosterage. As if they would have been of opposite sexes, their marriage would have been void. After the termination of marriage or death of his wife, marriage can take place with the other. Second, being polygamy. Muslim law allows polygamy, but it is restricted to a maximum of 4 wives. A Muslim man can have 4 wives. In India, a Muslim marriage can't have a second marriage if his marriage is registered under the Special Marriage Act of 1954. The third, being difference of religion. Under the Sunni law, a Muslim male is allowed to marry a female who shows respect for same scriptures, such as a Christian, Parsi, or Jew. But if he marries with an idol or fire worshipper, the same is considered as irregular. A Muslim woman is not allowed to marry a non-Muslim man, and if it happens, the same is considered to be irregular. The fourth condition is the absence of proper witness, which will be discussed in the next slide. The contracting of marriage must be done in the presence of proper and competent witnesses. Under the Shia law, presence of witness is not essential, and marriage without witnesses is considered as valid. Marriage is contracted by the parties themselves, if a minor, or by their guardians itself. Under the Sunni law, presence of witness is essential, else the marriage would be considered irregular. At least 2 male or 1 male and 2 female witnesses should be present, and the witness must be a major of sound mind and a Muslim. The final essential condition being dower. It is also referred to as meher. It refers to the amount of money or other property which a bridegroom has to give to the bride as a consideration for the marriage. Its object is to offer the bride a sense of financial security within and after the termination of the marriage. In the case of Nasra Begum versus Rizwan Ali, the Allahabad High Court held that the right to mahr comes into existence before cohabitation. The court also concluded that if the wife is a minor, her guardians can refuse to send her to her husband until the payment of dower, and if she is in the husband's custody, then she can be brought back. I hope this video was helpful in providing a simple and clear understanding of the essentials of a valid marriage under Muslim law. For any further queries, please drop your questions in the comment box below. Please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel.